so obviously Arizona and LSU both have very storied traditions. You know that. Biggest, I guess, difference would have been the food, I guess, in Louisiana. Man, I was very immersed in the culture there, and the food was amazing.
Hello everyone, Noah Schlicksup alongside Jacob Berry of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Jacob, this is our first official episode. We're calling it Off the Hook with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. We've been brainstorming names over the last few days. What do you think?
I like it so far. I mean, This is pretty cool. I'm happy to be here right now. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. First guest after Scott Kornberg, of course, getting us started off right last week. And let's start off early days of baseball. Obviously, best days of baseball for a lot of guys. How did you get into the sport? Obviously, your dad, your mom have connections to the sport, but what made you want to play specifically?
Yeah, I think I played every sport growing up, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, and baseball is always the one that, I always felt like a connection to. I think mainly because of my dad. He played and he taught it to me at a young age, and I just fell in love with it at a young age, and I've really enjoyed playing it since, and it's really kind of taught me a lot of things, not just about the game, but kind of life in general.
Mm-hmm. Baseball, obviously, great life sport, and you go on playing high school baseball in Arizona, had a great career there. What stands out to you about your time playing high school with your guys?
Yeah, I mean, some of my best friends I played with in high school for years, and I really just enjoyed those connections. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, just the connections you make within baseball and that you really stick with a long time. Michael Moreno, who I played for in high school, is one of my favorite human beings. He's family, and he's really helped develop me as a player and as a person that I am today. So I'm really grateful for those opportunities, and just really kind of playing with your boys there's nothing quite like it.
I'm a big high school baseball guy, obviously. I've been around the game for a while, and there's something pure about that level, right? And there's some guys that get overlooked. So let's go back to your high school team. Who's one guy that never got the love that maybe he deserved?
Oh, man, we had some good ball players that come through there. I think Riker Waite right now is at Vanderbilt. He's one of the middle infielders there. Alex Gamboa is at LMU. Yeah, there's been a lot of good players, man. I could go down the list that have played junior college, but one that I played with was probably Torrin Craig and Colt Kaler. They were a few years older than me when I was in high school. One went to play at Hawaii and then at Texas A&M, and then that was Colt Kaler, and then Torrin Craig went and played at Long Beach State, and both really good ball players and just really great individuals that helped me along my career and kind of helped me figure it out a little bit my freshman year of high school that were really good to me.
Man, you guys were loaded there with that squad.
We had some really good ball players. I was very fortunate, man. I enjoyed it.
I'm interested because you graduated in that COVID class. You didn't get your full senior year. So I'd imagine that affected recruiting a little bit for you. What was that whole experience like as a top prospect in America, really?
Well, I don't know if I was considered a top prospect in baseball in high school, but
hey, 110 overall.
Something like that, yeah. I was fortunate enough to not really have it affect me too much since I had already signed my national letter of intent to go to University of Arizona to play for Jay Johnson at that time, and was really kind of like a lot of the college stuff was already kind of decided, I guess. I had signed my national letter of intent in November. Now, it did change me not going to summer ball that summer after I finished up high school, so that part was a little bit weird, but no, I was really fortunate and lucky enough to have those opportunities to go to college and kind of showcase my skills there.
Yeah, had 2 great years of college baseball at Arizona and LSU. You're an Arizona guy. I'm interested, after that first season at Arizona, what made you want to take that chance and transfer out of your home state to LSU?
Yeah, obviously I loved Arizona. I'm from there. The biggest decision was Jay Johnson. I mean, he's a grade A human being. He's the reason I chose Arizona in the first place, and I just felt loyal to the guy that gave me the opportunity in the first place. I mean, he's obviously done a great job at LSU. I mean, storied tradition at both places, but I really enjoyed playing at both places, and I was very, very fortunate to finish with Jay at LSU.
Yeah, LSU just out here a few weeks ago at ViStar Ballpark, and what are the biggest differences, playing for the Arizona Wildcats, and you go over to a team like LSU, and you think of college baseball, that's one of the first programs that pop into mind. That had to be quite the experience there.
Yeah, so obviously Arizona and LSU both have very storied traditions. You know that. They both have multiple national championships. LSU is maybe one of the most popular college baseball teams in the country year in and year out. The biggest, I guess, difference would have been the food, I guess, in Louisiana. Man, I was very immersed in the culture there, and the food was amazing. I mean, jambalaya, crawfish, all that stuff is very different to me, being an Arizona kid. But I really enjoyed all of it, man. The food was just amazing, and the people were grade A.
What's your favorite story you like to tell from your college baseball days?
That's a good question. I'll have to think about it. At LSU, I think Vanderbilt weekend, I had a couple broken fingers and I was playing, and I think I remember hitting like a bloop single or something like that, and I think the whole dugout got up and was laughing and smiling because I was in there basically to kind of, give some protection to some other guys and obviously kind of help the team win in any way that I could. But I think that's one of my favorite moments. It's crazy to say, but just something to go back to kind of like being with your guys and everything like that and them pulling for you. So I really enjoyed that.
How about that draft process for you? You go number 6 overall to the Marlins, and I listened to the Turn 2 podcast you did with Scott and Troy a couple years ago, and you had said that you weren't expecting the Marlins to be one of the teams that was after you. So who was the team that you thought might take a chance on you, and that experience with the Marlins, describe that night?
Yeah, I mean, obviously unforgettable. I mean, very grateful to Kim Ing, who gave me the opportunity to showcase my skills here, and hopefully still trying to prove them right. But just really grateful. I mean, there was teams and phone calls and stuff like that, and I kind of let my dad and my agent kind of deal with that, and that was because I was like, I'm never going to be able to say no to a team asking me to come play for them professionally. That's every kid's dream, and I think I was just really grateful and just honored to even have that opportunity in the first place. So I think that's kind of what it boiled down to. I mean, a lot of emotions. I mean, still chasing the dream, obviously, and just trying to take it day by day. Did
you have a team that you thought, maybe not for sure, but you were anticipating going to?
I think, to be honest with you, it's been so long ago now. I was just kind of looking forward to it, and I remember all the emotions and excitement, and I remember it was like the longest hour of my life waiting for my name to get called, and then once it got called, I was like just shell-shocked. I couldn't believe it happened. So I didn't really have a specific team, but there was just grateful for the opportunity.
I am interested with the pressure that comes with that, and you're a guy, you played at a couple major college baseball programs. You're the number 3 overall prospect in your state. You get drafted in the top 10 of the MLB draft. How does that compare to maybe some of the other? I mean, you probably had a target on your back your entire career. How does that pressure maybe compare to others you faced, and did that maybe help you along the way?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, there's been a lot of great ball players I've played with, guys that have played in the big leagues, not just with this team, but with other teams, and I think it's just kind of built relationships in that process, but, it's pressure's an opportunity. I mean, it sounds cliche, I guess everybody says it, but it genuinely is an opportunity to go out there and showcase your abilities every day, and we're one step closer here in AAA, and just trying to put together my more consistent ABs and more consistently in the field and everything like that, and I think that's just helped me grow as an individual and kind of become a more well-rounded player here, I guess, the last few years.
What was your first impression of Jacksonville, Florida, and the Jumbo Shrimp organization?
Yeah, so I obviously got up here in 24, the last month of the year, and really had a great experience with the old coaching staff with Brownie and Greg Colbrin and all those guys, and I just really learned to love it. And then obviously last year we had a great year, fun team to be around the entire year, a lot of moving pieces, and then kind of getting the job done at the end of the year was amazing. And this year's had a couple bad games to start the year, but you know how it is. It's a very long season, and things change really quickly. So just kind of looking forward to the opportunity to keep refining my craft and keep getting a little bit better each week. So I love it here, and it's been amazing.
Obviously, you guys got the job done, and you were the hero in that AAA championship game. Walk-off home run. I'm sure you've spoken about this a ton by now, but how does that for you compare to some of the other big moments of your career?
I think that might be the top of the moments right now. I don't remember running around the bases with as big a smile as that maybe since I was a little kid. So I really, I embraced it, and I mean, it was really cool to even be in that moment. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are playing in the big leagues now with Miami. There's other guys playing in other big league teams now, and it's just really cool to kind of share that moment with other people and just kind of all compete and play together. So I'm looking back at it, I'm just just really happy that we even got that opportunity, and I'm just really thankful for it.
It seemed like a really tight-knit group last year, and I remember seeing a video of some of the former guys who were up with Miami watching it on TV, and did you hear from any of them after that? What was that relationship you built with those guys?
Yeah, so honestly, like that whole thing, I remember my phone blowing up pretty good afterwards. But yeah, it was, I mean, you hit a walk-off in any game, it's pretty darn cool, but in a game that decides if you guys are the national champions or AAA champions, it was special. I mean, being in that moment. I mean, Jack Winkler's here with the Astros this week, and he set the table there in the 9th inning. He got on. Victor Mesa just about walked it off a couple pitches before me, and I just was lucky enough to be in there. But yeah, it's been cool to get text messages from guys that are in the big leagues and everything like that. I mean, that's obviously where we're all striving to be, but it's cool that they were following just as tightly as we were playing in that game. So pretty special group of people there, I would say.
I know we're limited on time here, so I only got a few more for you, but in the minor leagues, obviously, the main goal for everyone is to get to the big leagues. Mm-hmm. But you're also a guy who prioritizes winning. So how do you find that balance between team success, but at the same time, it is very individual for guys because the main goal is to reach the next level?
Yeah, obviously, I think there's nothing wrong with winning and developing at the same time, in my opinion. I think when you get too involved in developing at your own rate, you start worrying about the wrong things and you stop looking at the big picture, because the big picture is what the score is at the end of the game. That's always kind of how I've played the game. That's always how I want to play the game. It's how I did when I was 5 years old, and that's how I'm going to be until the day I retire. I mean, that's, in my opinion, what dictates, good ball players and great ball players, and so that's what I'm trying to do. And obviously the Marlins are they're in the right direction. They're off to a great start this year, and they got a lot of good ball players that know how to win games, and that's what it really boils down to at the end of the year. So that's something that I think it goes hand in hand, in my opinion. It's something I think David Carpenter preached a lot last year, and that's what he preaches a lot this year, and that's what we strive for.
I saw that you played Winter League in Puerto Rico this past off season.
Yes, sir.
What was that experience like? Because it seems like those fans there are something else. And
yeah, I mean, I had a blast down there. It was really fun. I mean, wish I could have stayed with them through the playoffs. I just need a little bit of break for my body and to obviously get ready for this upcoming year. But great experience, great people, like you said, great fans. They're loud, they're into the games, and man, it was just a blast going down there and having that opportunity. I loved it.
And where do you feel like you're at this point? Where are you as a player in your development right now?
I feel like trying to be more consistent on a day-to-day basis. I feel like I finished the year strong. The last few months of the year, really the last 3.5 months, 4 months, I feel like I put, a good brand of baseball out there day to day, and feel like I got a little bit better each month, and that's what I'm striving to do here. I know there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but how consistent can I stay, and how well can I get into my process and my routine?
Mm-hmm. Last thing I'll leave you with here is learning to be a pro in the minor leagues. How has that been, and describe that process for me?
Yeah, obviously you have to learn your process, and what your process isn't what everybody else's is, and I think sometimes you can get lost in the shuffle a little bit here and there, but majority of it is like learning how to be a professional. How do you go about your business with each individual, and how do you learn how they work and how you work as well, and try to find a good common ground and how to be successful in that, and how to get better every day. I mean, David Carpenter playing the big leagues, I mean, that's somebody you always want to take advice from, somebody who's been there. I mean, Gabe Kapler playing the big leagues, had a long big league career, and those are people you take advice from, and those are the people that you want to learn from and everything like that. People that have been in your shoes and have obviously failed and had success, and they can help you along that path. And that's obviously what we're always trying to do, is get better and get to that next level. But that's what kind of being a pro is, in my opinion, is not always agreeing with everything, but obviously being willing to be open and adapting to new things. So I love it.
Well, Jacob, plenty more I could have talked about, but I know we got to get you back out here to get ready for today's game. But appreciate talking with you. Had a great time.
Pleasure, man. Thank you.
Everyone, that is the first episode of Off the Hook with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.